Hey everyone, it's Rob from robwillman.com, and I wanted to talk to you today about how to track your web traffic like a pro. I've recently written an article on this and published it on my blog, and I just wanted to accompany that with a training video, so I'm just going to go through some steps here. So first of all, welcome. Thank you for joining, and what I wanted to cover was how to use LeadsLeap. This has become my go-to tracker because I want you to imagine this scenario. I want you to imagine that you start getting some real traffic, you start getting some people signing up, but yet there's only one problem. You don't know where they came from. You've been using a lot of different traffic exchanges and mailing lists, and now you've got no idea where the source of your traffic actually comes from. And this is more common than you think. So what you can do is you can start tracking your traffic so that you know exactly where these visitors are coming from, and that's what we're going to cover today. So my recommendation, my personal recommendation for tracking your traffic is to use LeadsLeap. Now in the blog there are some links that go to LeadsLeap, and if you were to click on those, yes, they do have my affiliate link in fair disclosure, and you would sign up under me, but I think that would be kind of a win because then I could train you if you needed any help with it. So they're a quality tracker, and they do a number of things really well. I also want to mention that there is Hits Connect. Hits Connect is who Click Track Profit does recommend. So if you would rather use Hits Connect, I do have a link for that on my blog as well that you can use to sign up for them. I've used them, and they are also a good tracker. So let's get started, and I am actually logged in. If you've not signed up for LeadsLeap before, it's really simple. You go to Leadsleapcom, and then you're able to sign up, and once you do so, you can use the free version, even if you're not a pro version like I am, to go through this same process. So once you get ready to actually track traffic that you're going to be looking at for a specific link, what you do is under tools, you're going to click on track links, and to create a new one, the first thing you do to start this process is under add a new URL. You just type the URL in and you hit add now, and that starts the process. That's pretty much how it starts. It's pretty easy. They make it really easy to create a new tracker. So once you've added that URL, let's keep going. So I'm actually going to use one that I've already got here so that I can just walk you through these so that you'll see what the settings are. So I'm going to use one here that's called LCP Clicking and Clicking, which is a lead capture page for clicking and clicking that I've made on Click Track Profit. So I'm going to click the little edit button here. So the first thing that we're going to look at is the fact that you can name this. Now by default, usually LeadsLeap is going to name your tracker after the URL, but I don't like that because this would be a rather ugly link and it would be hard for me to see the name of. So the end user never really sees this name. This is only for you, and so that you know what the tracker's name is. It's pretty simple. So the next thing is actually the URL and this little checkbox underneath it, which is called Disable Cloaking. Okay, so don't change the URL or don't click in this box to disable cloaking unless you absolutely have to. If you entered your URL incorrectly, sure, you can modify it. You can also come back later and then modify this to be a URL that you need in case you're wanting to track something else. But for now, let's just leave it exactly like it is. Now, as far as the Disable Cloaking button, by default, LeadsLeap is going to cloak the URL and display the URL of HTTP, the trackapp.com / and then some big blob of text is going to be after that. So some domains like YouTube are not going to allow you to cloak the URL in this manner. But LeadsLeap actually has a built-in checker. So if you want to check your URL once you've entered it in, you just click where it says, can my URL be cloaked? And if it actually pulls it up and you can see your URL, that means that the URL can be cloaked and you don't have anything to worry about. So then you just click, I can see my website, and you're good to go. If you click that, I cannot see my website, it's going to tell you that you need to come back and you need to click the disable button. If you do that, some of the advanced options aren't going to be available to you in the statistical tracking, but you'll still get some of the main functionality of the tracker. At this point though, since my link is good, I don't have to worry about disabling the cloaking. Now the next part is the custom tag. So if you notice up here, the link that I would be promoting everywhere would be this TRCK app or trackapp.com/ and then this blob of text, which is right here. If you're a pro member, you're actually able to change that, and I've done this on some of these, like trackapp.com/ robsprotips1, and I think that doing so actually looks a bit more professional to visitors when I'm sharing this on a forum or anywhere else. If I use one of these links that I've modified to be much more easily read, I think it just looks a little bit better for the end user. So that's definitely a nice bonus for those of us who are pro users. The next part is adding tags. So if you look, there's a section where you can enter tags, and you can see these tags that are down here just under this blank. These are tags that I've already entered. So if I want to apply one of these tags to an existing link, this doesn't impact the URL at all. It doesn't impact the tracking URL. This is just used so that later you can search for a specific tracking URL, so I can assign something to it. So this is click track profit as the CTP one. So since this lead capture page is actually a CTP page, I could check this and then go down here and hit save, and it would apply it to this link. So that's just useful when you're searching and you've got a lot of these and you need to find them, but it has no bearing on the traffic in which you'll receive. So let's now talk about some of these advanced options. By default, LeadsLeap tries to get the title of the page itself and then uses that at the top up here where you've got the browser tab. It will use the actual title of the page, but you can change that. And what I've noticed is I like to change the browser title to match the title of the headline that I'm using in my ad. So if I copy this one right here, and let me go ahead and open this up, what you're going to see is when I open this up in a new tab, it says clicking and clicking with no results. Well, that's pretty much the same as what I have set it for here, because I want the user to have a consistent experience. I think it makes it a little bit more professional, so I use the same headline that I use on the lead capture page as my browser title as well. That's not really going to change much, but I still prefer doing that just because it makes things just a little bit easier. There's also this section that's called a teaser. Now this is optional, but if you do, it's going to show a teaser section in the browser just before the page loads. Now because I show a lot of my links in traffic exchanges, I don't want any extra time to be wasted with the user looking at some sort of teaser. I want to get their eyeballs looking directly at my lead capture page, so I never really use this option. You can if you want to, but according to the documentation on LeadsLeap, it kind of acts as a pre-sell for your visitor before the page loads, but I don't use this functionality. You can also have an ad bar that is seen at the top of the page. You can create it on the fly when you create your tracked URL, or you can select one that you've created before. Now they say that the custom ad bar appears at the top of any content, even if it's not your content. So that's some pretty next level stuff, which is kind of cool, that the bar can be on the top of the page that you're linking to. And the premise is that you can sort of cross promote and use that for a secondary ad to be shown across the top of the page. I don't really use that because I want my visitor to be laser focused on one thing and one thing only, and that's signing up for whatever list it is, because then whatever it was that I was showing them in that top ad bar, I can advertise that to them later once they're on my list. So I don't really see the point in having that across the top. However, I have seen where that's been used to sort of cross promote in case there's something new that somebody wants to have shown. They can show it on there without changing the URL of the page. They can just put the ad bar across the top. Or some people may want to do that if they don't have access to the raw HTML of the page that they're promoting. In case they're doing it as an affiliate link, they maybe could have something at the top which gives the user an option on a different page to do some other action. That doesn't really appeal to me. I've got my own blog, and if I wanted to have the user do something else, I would just create another page and point them towards that. But according to the documentation, it says an ad bar allows you to cross-promote your offers. For example, you may have a time-sensitive offer that you can promote to your traffic. Okay. And instead of changing all your links, which may involve changing your ads too, you can simply create an ad bar and have that shown to all your tracked links. That's a possibility. This way you can run a secondary promotion in addition to all the campaigns that you're currently running. Another use of the ad bar is to leverage on other people's content for your own promotion. I have seen people use this on forum links where they'll go to pages that have a answer to a question that somebody posts somewhere. They'll find a forum that answers the question, but they'll throw an ad bar in it, throw it in this tracker, and then throw that in a forum so that they get their ad shown across the top. I'm not really into that. I'm just into getting people to sign up for my own list. So that's what I'm into. There's also this option to insert a pop-up, which is quite good. At that point, you can, like the ad bar, LeadsLeap has some tracking with some advanced functionality, which will be a pop-up, including a light box that can pop up in the middle. If you want to do that, that's wonderful. But for starters, if you're going to do that, you need to already have a list configured within LeadsLeap to tie into the popover. So that way, whenever they see it and they fill out their information, they get signed up to the list that you have in LeadsLeap. So that's a cool feature that you can have a sign-up pop-up form list on pages that you don't even own or host. So that's maybe a benefit for people who don't own a website and just are using affiliate marketing sales. They could have that popover that appears. Finally, there's this option here that says to monetize, and what that does, and I'm going to show you this on this link that we've got. If I were to refresh this page, what you're going to see is after a little bit of time in the bottom corner, you're going to see that ad that was down there. There it is. And after 20 seconds, essentially what you're going to see are these ads right here are going to pop up. And if somebody clicks on them, I get credit for that, which in LeadsLeap can be converted into cash, or in my case, I use it to get more hits to my actual offer. Depending on what page it is, these can be really useful just to get more viewership to your own ad. Your choices that you've got as a free user on this is you either have yes, show the ad, in which case these are your options 0 through about a minute, or no. Now if you pick no, it's still going to show that tiny little footer that has the LeadsLeap URL in it, but it won't show the ads. As a pro user, I can click private, which won't show that at all, and it just acts as a pure tracker, which I find appealing. You can also choose where the footer appears, either on the left side or right side of the bottom of the page. It's always going to be on the bottom. So I try to think that how people read pages, that typically their eye winds up in the bottom right where those ads are. So I typically show the footer on the bottom right. And then you can also choose responsive mode to turn it to where it's mobile friendly. If the page that you're actually sending people to is mobile friendly, you can set this to on. Once you've made all your changes and you've set this up, you hit save, and then you'll be able to track your results by sending people to the custom URL. There's a couple things that I want to point out here before we're done with this video. One is real, are the number of people that have seen your video over 1 second, which is a good metric. Responses are the number of people that have done anything on the page, clicked a link, filled out a form, looked at a video. So it's good to see the responses. The convert is very useful because this shows the number of people that took action on a form. You will have to get tracking code and have a web page that you'll put this up in the header. Once you do so, you can actually track not only conversions for a mailing list, but the second conversion can be used to track sales, so that if people first sign up to your list and then they buy something, you can have 2 levels of conversion. That's it for now. I just wanted to show you how you could get this started, and I would highly encourage you to track all of the traffic that you have going to your offers, because then you can look at some of the results from these and see exactly where your traffic is coming from, like I have down here in the bottom, and you can use your sources. That's it. Bye-bye.